Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. And we are continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. And I thought today we'd actually take a look at the lesson that's assigned from morning prayer for the letter to the Hebrews. Now, the author of this letter is making a case for Jesus Christ as the fulfillment of God's promise to send a Messiah, and really as the fulfillment of the law. And so we're already up into the 7th chapter of the letter to the Hebrews. And in this particular chapter, he's developing the idea of what priesthood means. Remember that in the Old Testament, you had a priesthood. You had the sons of Levi, the tribe of Levi, whose job was to offer the sacrifices in the temple. Right? All the other tribes got land appointed to them, and they had herds and flocks and stuff. But that one particular tribe, their job was to offer the sacrifices for the people in the temple, and they were then to take a portion of that as their own inheritance. And so it is, we'll go on to talk about why it is that Jesus Christ is the replacement, because the new covenant has now superseded that of the original covenant. The new covenant, of course, being in Jesus' blood. So we're going to skip down chapter 7. We'll go to verse 22. By so much was Jesus made a surety of a better testament. And they truly were many priests, because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death. But this man, because he continueth ever, hath an unchangeable priesthood. Wherefore he is able also to save them to the uttermost that come unto God by him, seeing he ever liveth to make intercession for them. For such an high priest became us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and made higher than the heavens. Who needeth not daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself. For the law maketh men high priests which have infirmity, but the word of the oath, which was made since the law, maketh the Son, who is consecrated for evermore. Okay, so here the author is reminding the people of the original covenant, who are now coming to know Jesus Christ as the Son of God, as Messiah, as the fulfillment of God's promise. He reminds them that the priests who go in to offer these sacrifices for sin have to offer it for their own sins as well. And the reality is that all those who make those sacrifices, who make those offerings, who intercede for the people, they will all die. Right? Because they are affected by the original sin that says that our mortal bodies will wear out and we will suffer and die. Maybe we won't suffer, maybe we'll just fall asleep and die. But either way, they physically die. But in the person of Jesus Christ, you have one who is truly God. He's human in every way as well, except for sin. Right? So he continues forever. He doesn't die. It is his intercession ability and his intercession dignity lasts forever. And so he actually has gone to the right hand of the Father and intercedes for us to the Father. He's not hindered by death. And so the priests of the Old Testament, the priests of the original covenant, have to continue to offer these sacrifices, and they have to offer them for their own sins. Now, Jesus Christ, of course, has no sins to offer for. And so his sacrifice was of himself, and it was completely selfless. It had nothing that would be able to make him part of it, of the need for that sacrifice. He gives it freely for us and for our salvation, right? And of course, that sacrifice himself is what happened on the cross. Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins, right? That's our number one statement. When God quizzes us in heaven, as if there's a quiz, because he knows our hearts, but there isn't. But if we were asked in heaven when we get there, why should you be admitted to heaven? The only answer is because Jesus Christ died on the cross for my sins. Okay, today's Thursday, and we're in our spring-summer schedule already. So Thursday's services are at 9 a.m. for Holy Communion, followed by benediction, and evening prayer at 5 o'clock. And I do hope that you will join us as we glorify God and receive the Blessed Sacrament. And I hope that your Thursday is full of blessings.